Welcome back. So, let us see some more pictures that depicts different emotions in different situations of human life. That will give us a more clear idea about the presence of emotional intelligence. So, what is happening exactly in this picture? Children who are not accepted by classmates are up to 8 times more likely to be drop out. So, this is a situation that shows that 3 children are working together, they are playing together, and one boy is isolated. That is the sign of deficient of interpersonal skills. So, that needs to be built among students at least at the school level or family level. So, what does this picture depict all about? Yeah, the person is very eloquent, jovial, confident, expressive. People often say these are the skills required for effective leadership. So, there is a popular slogan nowadays in corporate sectors. In the corporate world, personal executives say that IQ gets you hired, but EQ gets you promoted. So, it is EQ that plays a very major role to reach at the ladder of one's success in life. So, we have some more interesting situations that shows the presence of emotional intelligence in our private life. So, what does this picture depicts all about? So, this is a picture of a mother and a small kid. So, when the mother extends her arms towards the kid equally reciprocates the same by giving a smile. So, what does it reflect? It says that some EQ is innate like IQ. Infant as young as 3 months show empathy. So, therefore, I am reminded of one popular phrase in psychology that I think if the famous psychologist Alfred Binet said that mind is not a black slate. Is it Binet? I do not remember exactly, that some psychologist said that mind is not a blank slate that you can write everything on it. So, the idea of highlighting that no man is empty as far as EQ is concerned from their birth. So, everybody born with some sort of EQ, that is innate EQ. So, there are certain software that are already pre-programmed in your mind and heart that regulate our human emotions in our everyday affairs. Taking it further, so what is happening here? A group of peoples, it's a boat race, is not it? A leader is sitting at the front on the driver's seat, is not it? So, you can say it is a teamwork, you can say it is an example of leadership, you can say it is an example of one man commander, is not it? So, some people say it depends on all. I would say that it depends on only command and control of one person who is sitting at the front. It depends, if the person knows who is fit for what, how many will be driving at the left side, how many will be at the right side, so that the balance is maintained. So, it shows that why some people remain buoyant in the face of trouble that would sink others. That optimal performance is required. That shows the importance of IQ. People with high IQ are well balanced with exact communication, commitment, and the balance that is required for team efforts. So, what is it happening here? Very often people perceive it negatively. Some people immediately say this is a kind of cheating, but exactly it is not. A group of friends working together on the street, is not it? Why can't it be a reflection of their interpersonal relations? Why can't be it's a reflection of good friendship, is not it? But the kind of social taboos that still exist in our mind and in our society, that labels our social perception or emotional perceptions. So, it may be like trust is mutual, hum साथ hain, right? So that breaks the barrier of our negative perception about human relations. But if you look at these situations, what is happening here? This is very wonderful. So, these are some of the pictures that depicts human emotions. Some are very violent, some are very silent, but some are very silently killing the mind. Anxiety is rehearsal for danger. A little anxiety helps us focus the mind, too much can paralyze it. The picture depicts as if the person is receiving some sort of tense message, and it creates all around fire in his mind. And if it seems if it continues for a little bit more, maybe the person will be victim of some sort of cognitive paralysis. The person may experience cardiac arrest, may experience heart attack. So, if a person does not control his emotions, whether it is anxiety or stress or tension, that may not facilitate further activities. This is everyday affairs that happens in our daily life. See, two couples sitting in the early morning having a cup of tea on the tea table. The husband is reading newspaper, wife is saying something, is not it? So, who is controlling whom? The wife seems to be more excited than the husband. So, one is talking too much, another is too less. So, maybe he is listening, but without any care and concern. So, what I am trying to say, care, concern, empathy, sympathy, these are very important attributes of human life that controls our private and professional relationship. If this person does not listen or does not pay attention anymore, there could be more violence, there could be more aggression, isn't it? So, here we see that okay, the newspaper is maintaining the balance. No, actually the newspaper is creating more problems, because it is obstructing the communication, the expression of the lady, what she trying to project or say to him. So, the moment the newspaper is removed, there may be any kind of physical aggression also. So, better to remove the newspaper and engage in conversations. But the husband say, oh my God, it happens every day morning, I am habituated with it. But by saying that way, the person is creating more trouble for himself. So, what could be the better way of doing it or dealing with these situations? Let us see what will happen if it continues. Deficient emotional skills may be the reason that more than half of the marriages end in divorce. And nowadays in modern life, it is becoming more and more in the sense where couples are not meeting even for days or for week. Husband is working in one shift, wife is working in another shift. They hardly get chance to interact with each other. Who are the biggest sufferer? Children are the biggest sufferer. So, they are even some other day I was looking for a car when I got accident on my leg. By lot of effort I catch hold of one driver. So, he is saying, sir, I am doing night shift in one of the travel agent in Kharagpur, but I am getting hardly any time to see my kid's face. And I doubt that after some time my daughter may start calling me uncle instead of father, because she hardly gets any time to see me. And that is exactly what is happening in a modern life. We are so busy in our own activity, we do not provide any care, concern, affection to each other. And that is the biggest problem that is battering our relationship. So, these are some of the situations that I wanted to project here, that will highlight the basis of our emotional relationship, that if that managed properly, that will take you further and facilitate our life in general. So, now it is the time to examine what are the characteristics of people, those who are with low EI and those who are with high EI. So, to begin with the first one, I am too sensitive, I take everything personally. So, these are people, they are branded as emotional people. So, emotional, they are unable to regulate their emotions in the right way. Why a person will be too sensitive? Whatever is happening in this world, they attribute to themselves. Take everything personally. No, actually I am responsible for your sorrow. I am responsible for your trouble. I am responsible for what my children today they are. I could not take care of them. No, it is not you. There are many other things happening in this. I am the most sorrow person in this world. I am the most unhappy person in this world. Have you ever thought about those people who are living on the street, who are living on the platform, who are begging on the street, who do not have, who are living in jungle without any dress also? There are many tribes in India who do not have food, cloth and shelter. They are surviving only by the godly gifted things like, in jungles, whatever is available. That is all. Only they are so called the natural habitats, and we are living on the 21st century. But why a person will say, the moment you say I am too sensitive and take everything personally, that means you are unable to assess your own strength and weakness. That is the sign of low level of emotional intelligence. I do not know as to why I get annoyed at times. Annoyance, what is causing you annoyed, you are not aware of. That means you are unable to evaluate your emotions, actual emotions. What is causing trouble for you? What is facilitating for you? You are not aware of it. That is also a sign of low level of emotional intelligence. Many times you ask, there are two cases that came to me maybe 5 years before, that one boy was continuing in the 4th year of architecture. He came with lot of emotional disturbances. Then suddenly I asked him, why you selected me? No sir, you are comparatively a young psychologist. So I thought I could express my feelings. Instead of going, there are 2-3 seniors psychologists available in our institute. So even people and even adult age students try to evaluate what is their comfort zone, and the moment he got that comfort zone is clear, removing all barriers, he is able to express everything with very open mindedness. He said, sir, I am not able to concentrate on my study for last couple of days. Then I asked, what is the reason? No sir, actually I am in deep love with one girl of my batch, but I have been watching her. She is not paying any attention to me anymore and taking coffee in front of me with other boys. So would you call it a sign of emotional maturity? Would you call it a person's irrational relationship? Then I asked immediately, then why do you think that it is a problem? Now, yes sir, because the way she is avoiding is creating emotional pain within me. I cannot take it any further. Then I suddenly asked, where is the problem? Have you ever expressed the similar kind of, that you have certain feelings about her? No sir, since last 4 years I am looking for a chance. So then I immediately don't come, this is one-sided affairs. Then I asked him, why don't you express that you have certain feelings about her? No sir, this is exam time, it may disturb her. I mean, she is so, so positive about her welfare also. he is unable to think anything harm to her. So, this is also a psychological symptoms developing within herself, a fear of insecurity gradual growing within himself. Then he said, why, what for you have come here? I have come here for some assistance, some help from you, that you please suggest me, what shall I do under this condition. I immediately said, see, I do not have any prior experience. So, because I never indulge in this kind of activity. That is one thing. Second thing, I will only suggest you certain general interventions. So, the first general intervention is, in order to make her a good friend, you begin with releasing your tension. Let it go as it is, so that will help you to release your tension. Do not isolate much. If you isolate much, your deprivation will be more. He said, sir, that is not possible for me. I am not able to reason it out what gone wrong with her, that she is doing so much isolation. Meaning it may be, she may not be thinking the way that you are thinking, and that exactly came out of her discussion. Then I suggested him, okay, if you are so much troubled and you want to make good friendship, you want to make her realize that, okay, you have certain good relationship with her. Yes, sir. And then you go and interact and try to share again cup of tea with her in front of her friends also. No, sir, that is not possible. This is not ideal for me. Then I said, okay, there is one more situation, one more suggestion I can recommend. You go and have a cup of tea in front of other girl, with other girl in front of her. So, that was a little bit a sort of joke, but she said, oh, he said, sir, actually that is what troubling me much. I am so much involved with the girl that I cannot even go for taking coffee. Then I suggested him, okay, there is no no shortcut way to success to your relationship. Better you take a break, go to your home, spend some time with your family, relax, divert your attention from this, so that you will get a break, and when you come back, maybe probably you will get to know how relationship goes on, and thereafter that student never turn up again. So, and this is exactly shows how sensitive he is, and how personally people takes without any reason and logic, and they get annoyed without any reasons. And people, many times, people often say that we do not know something happens, love and war, all these things happen without any reasons. No, people do it intentionally, but suddenly if something goes wrong, they say, I do not know how it happened. So, this is sheer depiction of our low level of awareness about our strengths and weaknesses. I am not sure how people opine about me. So, that means you are not able to judge yourself. You are suffering from low level of self-awareness and awareness of others. So, in order to have any kind of self-growth, one needs to take feedback from others. That is why you often say that feedback is always good for self-growth and development. Take feedback from your friends, take feedback from your parents, take feedback from your teachers. Many people talk many things, they observe differently. So, when you are taking feedback from others, you are adding information to your existing profile. So, I believe I have suffered the most in this world. No, you are not the only person. I am not sure how people opine about me. Is it necessary that people are, when you say, I do not know how people opine about me, what you are expecting exactly? You are expecting that all people should have good opinion about yourself. Is it possible in this world? A person who is thinking like it, that is sheer reflection of feeling of insecurity. Feeling of insecurity. You are not sure of about yourself. you are not sure of about yourself. So, if there is a question mark to yourself, what would be the outcome? What could be the outcome? More uncertainty. More confusion. Confusion, chaos, low level of self-confidence. You will and that will result in more error in life. So, when you are low level of self-confidence, when you are devaluing yourself, by doing this, what you are doing? You are reducing your self-image. So, that has a direct bearing on your self-image. So, that means I am not sure how people opine about myself is a sign of low level of emotional intelligence. I express my feelings awkwardly in social situations. People you will find, suppose you have entered into a hotel, 5-star hotel, you have been invited, suddenly you find people from across culture, different cultures, Japanese, Chinese, Vietnamese, European, Americans, varieties of foods are there you never came across in your lifetime. How will you manage? You do not know English, but people are speaking so funny English, you are unable to catch hold of them. Pronunciations are different. You are in a very deep trouble. So, that is how you are in a very awkward situations. So, can you manage the situations or trouble yourself and come back with a very tragic experience? People, those who are unsure of about themselves, unable to manage feelings of others, very rigid, cognitively very rigid, they are likely to suffer, and those are sign of low level of emotional intelligence. So, can you manage this kind of social situations where you have a multicultural diverse party is taking place? You never know, you never had the experience of using spoon while eating foods, but suddenly you find there Chinese foods are there. You need to take help of forks and other helping instruments. How could one manage under this kind of situation that he or she had never experienced before? Is it possible? The best way is the wait and watch, observation. That is why psychologists say learning by observation and imitation. Learning by observation and imitation, imitational learning. This is how they can pick up and manage situations. I find it difficult to handle pressure adequately. This is also another sign. One has to understand emotionally intelligent people, they cut their coat, so they cut their cloth according to the coat. What does it mean? You should know what is your limit. You should know how to analyze, how to understand, how to adjust. Most of the stress are created by individual, not by organizations. You must learn to say no when you are not comfortable. You should not say boss is always right. The moment you accept boss is always right, you are inviting problem for yourself. I find it difficult to tolerate that I do not like. No problem. The moment you say that it is difficult to tolerate, that I do not like, you are in trouble. There will be many other things in your life you cannot tolerate, but you have to live with that, because many things happen not because of you, because of others. So, you are living in this world because of others, not because of you only. So, there should be all integration between self and others. More gap is there, more misunderstanding is there. That is why these are called the characteristics of low level of emotional intelligence. There are a few more are here also. Blind ambition. People overnight wants to achieve milestone. Arey bhai, Rome was not built in a day. You know, this is a very popular phrase. Rome was not built in a day. How can you achieve everything? Tendency to win at all cost. I want to be a winner, I want to be topper of this batch, but you do not attend class regularly. How can you be the topper of the batch? So, if that goal you have already fixed, then what will do? When you say tendency to win at all cost, you want to manipulate the situations and systems. The same thing like the Italian player engaged in doing against the French team. They said this is the best player of the world. If you can channelize, divert his attention in other directions, then you will be able to set him or send him out of the field. Say intentionally, so it was in the report in newspaper I came to know that they intentionally provoked her by passing racial comments against the origin of his mother or something like that. That provoked intense emotion within Zidane. As a result, he created a very unwanted incidents on the field, which helped him, which throw him out of the field. So, that is why people, those who are having blind ambition in life, can hardly win in their life, can hardly succeed in their life. That is why we call it person with low level of fear. Unrealistic goals, setting up goals that are unattainable. There is a concept called, neurotic manager. In clinical psychology, people often do research on neurosis, psychosis, a concept very widely applicable in organizational context called the neurotic manager. Thank you very much. We will discuss in details about what is this neurotic manager in the context of organizational neurosis. We call it organizational neurosis. Thank you.